Hello everyone. Welcome to the video training series for the 2023 clinic of the Utah High School Football Officials Association. My name is Mike Furman, and in this video we will be discussing measurements and change of a quarter as it relates to our responsibilities as officials. Okay, so let's start off with measurements. Measurements are something that don't happen very often, and so because they don't, we can fall out of practice with those, and sometimes we can even kind of forget what we're supposed to be doing and what each of our responsibilities are for each position that we have. So if we roll forward here, we can see that what we've got in this scenario, it's second down and 4, and now we've run a play, and this is our head linesman has got a spot where he's calling for the ball because he knows it's close. So the umpire is going to give him the ball, and you're going to see him place it at feet where the spot is, and our referee is right here. He's going to come up and check and see if it's close enough that we need a measurement or if it's a first down. So head linesman knows it's close, so he's placing the ball. You can see him, he's got the ball down. Here comes our white hat. He looks at it and says, oh man, that's close. We better do a measurement. So let's start out with the back judge. And we can see here's our back judge coming in. His responsibility is the ball. We'll cover him first because basically once he gets in position, he never moves for the remainder of the time until the full measurement is over and we're done and we're sending the balls back to the ball boys. So he's going to come up. His responsibility is to come in. You're going to see him kneel down and put his hand on the ball and hold the ball so that it does not move. You can see here that he's positioned in front of the ball or downfield from the ball, and also he should be at about a 45-degree angle. That just kind of keeps him out of the way and keeps his backside from facing the stands and just looks a little bit better. The other thing, the reason why he's in front of the ball is because here in just a few seconds, we're going to have a whole lot of people all around here in this area, and we don't need one more person in there kind of blocking and making it difficult to maneuver and see and do the things that we need to do. So he positions himself in front of the ball, downfield, out of the way as he holds it in position. That's his responsibility. Okay, so let's talk about the line judge for a second. As we can see here, as we're getting ready to do the chain or do the measurement, we can see our back judge is coming in like we talked about it. At the same time he's doing that, the line judge is coming in to get in position, or his responsibility is to line up the ball with the spot where we want the head linesman to place the chains so that we have a straight pull on the chain and we have a correct measurement. So he's going to come in, again, kind of while this is going on, we can see our head linesman is getting ready to pick up the chain and bring it in. Meanwhile, the line judge, you're going to see him come in. He's going to line up the spot down from where the ball is, and he's going to mark that with his foot as the head linesman comes in so he knows where to place it. So that's his responsibility. Let's move on to the head linesman. Obviously, he has the chains, so his responsibility is the chains and the clip. And we'll see here as we roll forward, he runs down to grab the clip and bring the chains in. What you can see him right now doing is he's pointing to the box. He's telling the box person to come over, and we want him to place the box right here in the same spot where the front stick is. And that's just kind of an added protection in case something goes wrong and we needed to reset. We would have some place where it's marked where we know, okay, this is where the front part of the chain was, and then we could start over and grab our clip again and get everything reset from there. So then he comes forward, he's going to reach down and grab the clip. We want to take just a second before we go further and talk about positioning on the clip. Make sure when you do your pregame with the chain crew that your clip person knows their responsibility and knows where they should be placing the clip and how this works, because if they've done it wrong, it can really mess things up in the measurement. So what we've got here is our chain crew, and what we can see right here is that this is the spot where we want our clip to be. If you look at our chains, what we got here in this scenario is we're moving this direction. So this was the start of the series, and this stick here is where the line to gain is. So if you look at that, you can see that we have two big lines, or two 5-yard lines in between the sticks. So when we talk to the clip person, we want to make sure that they know that we want to place the clip on the back of the back line. So again, if we're moving this direction, then this here is the front line, and this here is the back line. And we want the clip to be placed again on the back of the back line. If, however, just real quickly, if you come in and the clip person has messed up and they've actually placed the clip on the front line, don't grab the clip and bring the chains in from the front line. Not only do you not get a good stretch and it doesn't look good, but what you end up happening is you have a whole crowd of people all in this tiny area. We don't want to do that. So even if you come in and they've messed up and put the clip in the wrong spot, we don't want to draw attention to that and take the time to kneel down and take the clip off and remove it, and then come over here and put the clip in the correct spot while everybody's waiting. We just want to very quickly and discreetly ask your clip guy, give me the other clip. Come in, put the second clip down here. They should be running 2 clips, and put the second clip in the correct spot on the back of the back line, just really fast, and people won't really notice, and you pick up and bring the chains in. If for some reason they don't have 2 clips, and again they should, if he doesn't and you don't have like a whistle or something you can clip there, don't just say, oh well, and pick up the chains and bring them in holding them without a clip. Because if somebody steps on the chains or you stumble or something and you lose your position on the chains, now you've messed up and we got to go back and reset. So worst case scenario, if they don't have them and you got to come over and unhook it and then hook it back here again, then okay, do that. But hopefully you should be running 2 clips so you can just really quickly make the chains and go. If we move forward here, this is what we're talking about. We have the back, this is the back of the back line, and our clip is lined up with that. And that's the position that we want to have it in going forward. Again, if you were looking at it, this would be the direction we were going. So here's the back of the back line, and that's where we want to have the clip. Okay, so going back to our head linesman. He's come in, he's grabbed the chains. We have the clip on the back of the back line. This was the back line here, so we're in the correct spot. He's got the clip in his hand. He's bringing it out. He has his 2 chain people coming with him. And we're going to come out to the spot, again, where the line judge has marked for us to lay the chains down. So we see there was our line judge waiting for us. Head linesman's going to place the clip in the same spot it was before, only now in here where we're marking the ball, which again was on the back of the back line. Is where he's going to put it so that, again, we can stretch it. Now, after he does that, the line judge who's waiting for him and marking with his foot, he's then going to bring his foot and step on the chain. Again, just to clarify, and I don't know if you noticed that on the previous clip, but the head linesman had a hand here, and he had a hand here on the chains. He stretches them, puts them down, lines it up, and then that allows the line judge to easily step in and put his foot on the chain so that we can pull it, and umpire can pull the chain tight to get the measurement. Once we get the chain in the correct spot with the clip marked and stepped on so we can pull it tight, then the umpire and the referee are going to stretch the chain to get the measurement. Now you'll see here, as the front stick comes in, he's going to hand that stick off to the umpire, and we're going to measure from this side of the ball so that, again, we're not tripping and stumbling over things. We're not going to try to come around this way and kind of make a mess of it. We're just going to measure it from this side of the ball so that it's just easier to keep it and safer to keep it on the back side. So umpire is going to grab it. Once that we see that the other 2 have got their clip in the right spot and the line judge is stepping on the clip, then the umpire is going to go ahead and pull the chain tight. And as he comes in, we can see there's our measurement, and the referee is going to rule on it. And in this case, we can see we're a little bit short, so he's going to make that motion. And now that we've established that it's going to be 3rd down because we were short of the first, our problem is that we have our ball out here outside of the hash marks, right? So we need to get the ball set up in here on the hash marks where it needs to be so that we can continue on with the next play. And when we do all that, we want to make sure that we don't lose our positioning and we get the ball positioned in exactly the right spot because we were only a few inches short. We wouldn't want to move that ball one way or the other. So again, our referee is on this side of the ball again, facing the press box, so he doesn't have his back to the press box, along with everybody else. And he's going to come in. Again, if you notice, our back judge is still holding the ball, right? And as he's doing that, the referee is going to bend down, get a spot. He's going to grab the chain where that spot is on the ball, and then everybody's going to come in with the chains together. Once we get to the hash marks, our head linesman is going to do the same thing he did before. He's going to set the chain there on the back of the clip on the back of the back line, only this time lined up with the hash. Our line judge again is going to step on the chain just like he did before, only this time he's on the hash mark. And once we've got that all set, again, as you can see, the white hat's going to, again, with the umpire, stretch the chains. Only this time he's going to put the ball down where he's marked it, and we'll have the ball set in the correct spot, the exact same spot that we had before, only now inside the hash where we need them to be. Once we get that set, head linesman can bring the chains back and get set up for the next play. Again, he's going to do the same thing, put it on the back of the back line, so everything's exactly the way that was before. While the white hat gets up, says third down, and he's going to wind the clock to start the next play. Now, one thing that I didn't point out that we do want to cover here is two ball mechanics, because we don't want to actually move that ball or take that same ball with us in case we end up, again, we drop it or we stumble or whatever. So you'll notice when we did that, here our referee, once he marked it short, the first thing that he did was turn back to, this is actually one of our ball boys, so he's looked back to his ball boy and is asking for the other ball. See, the back judge is going to stay right here. He's going to keep his hand on the ball. He's going to keep this ball in exactly the same spot and hold it in position. Again, that's just another fail-safe in case while the referee is moving the chains, if he stumbles or loses his grip on the chain, it's not a big deal. We can come back, reset just like we did before, get another grip on the chain in the correct spot because we haven't moved the ball, and then run again. So rather than use this same ball here, he's going to get the other ball from the ball boy. Again, using two ball mechanics. Now he's coming in. Again, like we say, the back judge is staying here the whole time, just in case, while the white hat goes and does his thing and places the ball in the correct position. So that was when, if we did a measurement and the ball was short, or we were short of the line to gain and was not a first down. Let's just cover real quickly scenarios when it is a first down. So we've done the same thing that we've talked about before, only at this point we've got our head linesman, our line judge is in the correct spot. They're stretching the chains. Our back judge is here holding the ball. This time, however, when we go to do the measurement, we find that, in fact, it is a first down. And so immediately our referee is going to signal that and rule on that boom, we have a first down. And once we've done that, now once it's a first down, it's not as critical that we get the ball in exactly the right spot one way or another, because we know that a first down has been gained. So in that scenario, everybody can just go back to the original spots. The umpire is going to hand the stick back off to the chain person, and then the chains are going to go back. They're going to move on a first down just like they would on any first down. Our head linesman is going to help them, get them set up with the foot. We're going to take the ball in. Again, we've got it marked. It's not crucial to be exactly where it was before because, again, we know it's a first down. We can kind of just judge like we normally would, get the ball set, and move on to the next play. Much quicker scenario. Okay, let's watch the whole thing from a distant view so that we can see everything and see how it all works together in one fluid motion. There again, we have our head linesman. He's called for the ball. He spotted it. Referee comes up, looks. Man, that's short, or that's close. Let's call for a measurement. And again, immediately everybody begins to move in motion. Our line judge is set up where he needs to be, ready to mark the spot. Our head linesman is getting the chain. Our back judge is bent down to get the ball. And our umpire is coming over to get into position to take the chain when it comes out. Head linesman comes in, places the chain where the line judge is marked. Line judge steps on the chain. Umpire takes the stick, pulls it tight. There's our measurement. It was short. We're going to let everybody know that. So now we're going to step forward, take the other ball. Everybody's going to move to the hash marks. Still got our grip on the chain. We put the clip where it needs to be, pull it tight again. We got our ball set. Third down. Let's get everybody back where we need to go. Chains go and set up in the same spot they were before. Referee winds it, and we're on the next play. That was when we were short of the line to gain. Here it is again, putting it all together if it is a first down. Same scenario. Again, we brought out the chains. Everybody's in their usual positions before, only this time when we pull it tight, it's actually a first down. We're going to mark it. We're going to go. Now things are a lot quicker. Chains can just grab things and go. The head linesman doesn't need to take the clip. The chains can get set up in the new spot. We can get the ball in the new spot. First down. Wind the clock. Those are measurements. You can come back anytime and rewatch this video if you want to recap that or review that. We will put these videos up on YouTube once we're all done so that you can find them there going forward anytime that you need them to review and review this information. Now that we've talked about chains, let's just cover one other element here that we sometimes deal with, and that is mechanics for using two clips. We talked a little bit about maybe the clip guy didn't know how to, whatever. Well, Using two clips is very easy. It's very simple. If you come across a chain crew where the clip person doesn't know how to use two, you can show them very quickly, give them a quick training in your pregame of how to do it. What we've got here is we're looking at this. We've got our chain crew and we've got our clip guy. We have our clip on the ground right here. It's lined up with the back of the back line just like we want it to be. And then he has his second clip ready to go in his hand. So what this scenario is going to be is we're going to have imagine that behind us there was a play for a first down. So this is our head linesman. He's going to run and mark the spot for the new down. Again, remember our clip is on the back of the back line like it should be, and then our other clip is in the clip guy's hands. H comes in, says, "Yep, it's first down. Chains, let's move." So the chains will pick up the chains and move. They're going to line it up with the back of with the foot of with the head linesman. And now this case, sorry, let me back that up again. Now the clip that was there before was just kind of dragging along with the chains. It's no longer in a correct spot. This is the old clip. It no longer matters. What matters now is the new back of the back line. And so as the chains get set, the clip guy is going to take the one he had in his hand. He's going to place it, line it up with the back of the back line for the new position. And now the clip is already good to go and we're set. Now, as things progress, as soon as he has a moment, being on the next play, usually it's safe just to let a play happen. And then once that's done, the clip guy can come over, take off the old clip that doesn't matter anymore, put it in his hand, and now he's set up for the exact same scenario for when it happens again. This is the new clip in the correct position, and now he has the unused clip in his hand for when they move, he can put that one there. Very simple, very efficient, saves a lot of time, easy to explain it to chain crews and to the clip guy there if you need to, so that they can run two clips. Next, we want to go over the change of a quarter and the responsibilities that each official has as we transition from one quarter to the next. All right, to start out, let's get very basic and just explain what it is that we're doing in a quarter change and why it is that we need to do it. So in order to do that, I wanted to start out first with a really kind of a wide angle view, because if you do that, you look and you can see that we have our change. In this situation, we have the offense going in this direction. And I believe it's third down and about 8. So if the quarter were changing right now, this is actually paused during the play, but if we were to assume that this is where we were at and we were going to do a quarter change, what's going to happen is they're going this direction, like we said. Now they're going to move down to the other side and they're going to be going this direction. Well, when we do that, we want to make sure that everything is exactly the same as it was before the change. For example, if the ball was over here and the short side of the field was on their right, then when we come back going this direction, we want to make sure that the short side of the field again is still on their right. So we're going to alternate which side of the hash or which hash and which side of the field that the ball is on. Likewise, we also need to make sure that our down and distance and everything remains the same. And again, what you'll have to do is this box will have to be kind of on this side, and this box will have to rotate around to that side, so that when we get down and they reverse directions, we still have 3rd and 8 before they get to the line to gain. Again, just to recap, as we're going to do a quarter change, first thing that's going to happen is the white hat and the umpire are going to come together and they're going to write down the yard line that the ball is on and what the down and distance is. Our line judge then will mentally make note of which yard line the ball was placed on, and then immediately move to the opposite side of the field to that corresponding yard line as kind of an additional verification of where the ball should be. And while he goes, he'll kind of clear up his sideline. And finally, our back judge, as always, will be focused on timing and making sure that the quarter is a minute long, and when we get to 45 seconds, be giving 3 blasts on his whistle to signal that the quarter break is coming to an end. We actually do have an example of a quarter change on Huddle, so let's take just a minute and review that clip and see what happens. So as you can see here, we've just finished second down, and as we move forward, second down comes to an end, and we begin to set up for third down with the clock running, and as we're doing that, time expires for the quarter. You can see that the ball is placed on about the 34.5 yard line, and our chains are set up on the 25 and the 35, with the 25 being the line to gain. So let's move forward. Again, our quarter comes to an end. Teams go to their sidelines. And the first thing that we do as officials is we come together to talk. Now, I've mentioned before on some of the other trainings that one of the wonderful things about being officials is the friendships that we form. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying one another's company and working together, but we've got to remember that we need to keep the socializing aspects of what we do to a minimum, at least until we get our job done first. And so unless there is something important that we need to talk about between the quarters, these things probably shouldn't happen. But as we progress here on this, we can see that, and I apologize, the video kind of skipped forward a little bit, but our head linesman has gone over the chains and he's grabbed the clip from the 30-yard line. And he's beginning to move down the field as he should. Meanwhile, the rest of us are kind of having a conversation. But the really important thing here is that in addition to us talking, what you'll notice is nobody wrote anything down. Referees and umpires, it is important that you take the time to write down the down and distance and the yard line between each quarter. Yes, 9 times out of 10, you won't need it, but the times that you do, it will be a lifesaver. Don't skip over that. Both of you take the time to write that information down before we make the change. And actually, the manual also says that the head linesman should take a moment to write down the down and distance and position of the ball as well before he starts moving the chains. And as we said before, the line judge should make a mental note and then move down to the opposite side of the field to set up to help mark where the ball should be. Okay, let's keep moving. So our head linesman's coming down. He's got, like we say, he's got the clip in the middle, and he's going to come down and rotate the chains. And with the clip, he sets up on the 35-yard line. Now, if you recall, we actually picked the clip up on the 30-yard line. So setting up on the 35 is not going to get us what we need. We do have our umpire who's come down. He's moved over to the opposite hash, which he should, to get set up and place the ball. And as we again move forward, we now have our chain set up in the incorrect spot. Our umpire gets the ball set, and we get ready for the next down. The coaches begin to talk and say, hey, something's not right. We ended the quarter feeling pretty good where we were at, and now suddenly it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5. That can't be right? And they begin to have a conversation with the line judge. But now again, all of us kind of started talking, and our minds checked out of where things were before, and you can see from everyone's reaction here, nobody's really sure of where it should be. We're thinking maybe there's something wrong, but we're not quite sure what it is. Our umpire moves the ball about a yard, maybe half a yard, but that's not really what the problem is. But now as we watch this play out, let me just say, this crew just happened to be unlucky enough that Huddle captured their transition of a quarter, but understand that this could happen to anybody. If we don't do those little things like write information down and so forth, this could happen to any of us. And really what has happened is we've just given the offense 5 yards. It should be 3rd and about 9.5, and now we're looking at 3rd and about 4.5. And this happened because we didn't follow the simple things that we need to do between the down. Head linesman, there's some things that we can go over that will help you remember what line it is you need to do that rotation on, and we'll go over that here right now. So if we move then here to this imaginary scenario, just to set up what it is that we have, in this case, we have the offense going in that direction. So we have 3rd down with 4 to go before reaching up the line to gain. Incidentally, you can't see from these lines, but so I will just tell you, this is the 30-yard line, and this is the 35-yard line. So we have our chain set up. We need to make sure the rotation happens. First thing that we'll do as a referee or as the head linesman, we're going to come in, let our box know what it is needs to happen next. We're going to point out to him, okay, box, you are on the 33-yard line, so I need to have you head down and go to the 33-yard line on the opposite side of the field. Once we've got instructions for him, now we're going down to where our clip is, which is on the back of the back line. So this is the front line, this is the back line, and our clip will be set up on the back of the back line, which in this case, as I mentioned, is the 30-yard line. And if you look, you can see as we reach down, yep, sure, we got a clip on the back of the back line. Now, things can happen as you move down with the chains. You might start yelling to move back. You might have someone that you got to clear it out of your way or whatever, and your mind can check off from where you were, and it becomes easy to forget the line that you picked the chains up on. So one of the best things you can do to make sure that you remember is vocalize what it is that you're doing. Walk through this verbally as you are doing it. After you tell the box where to go next, come over, grab the chain, and say, okay, I'm picking up the chain on the 30-yard line. And if you're like me, because I need a little extra help, it would be even better to vocalize it 3 times. So as you come to pick up the chain, you say, okay, I have the line on the 30, I'm grabbing the chain on the 30, I'm picking it up on the 30. And that just gives extra insurance that you won't forget. But vocalize at least once, where it is that you're picking up the chain as you get up to go, and then signal your chains, okay, let's move. As we head down, this is a time where it can help you establish your presence as an official. This is the time to be very vocal, be yelling at the team and the coaches, chains coming, back up, make way for the chains. You're getting them out of the way like you need, but also continuing to establish yourself as a strong presence on the sideline. So we come down, and now we're going to be instructing the 2 to be rotating. Okay, chain, I need to have you go this way, and this chain, I need you staying back there. So kind of guide them through that as we go through the rotation, and you're kind of doing the twisting of the chains. And now again, we're going to set up on the back of the back line, which again, we remember was the 30 because we told ourselves multiple times. So we have the chain set up on the 30, the back of the back line. We're going to tell this chain, okay, you pull yours tight. Then we're going to point to the other and say, okay, you pull yours tight. Then what I like to do, just to include the chains in the process, is stand up, say, okay, does it look like we did it right? Chains confirm it. Okay, we must have done it right. And if we want to just double check our work here again, we said that it was 3rd and 4 on the 33-yard line. We have our box on the 33-yard line like he should be, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for a first down. So in fact, we have done it right, and again, it will work if we set our chains up on the correct yard line from where it was before. Just to recap one last time then, umpire and white hat come together and write down the down and distance and position of the ball. Line judge heads down the sideline to set up for the next play, also marking where the new position of the ball should be. Back judge has timing, and the head linesman should write down the position and down and distance as well, and then go through this process. So that is the process that we need to follow, whether we are doing a Little League game or whether we are working a state championship game. And if we will do that and stick to the basics will save you even and especially when it's most important. And that concludes this segment. Watching this video does count towards the requirements for playoff and game assignment eligibility. Good luck, and as always, we look forward to seeing you out there this season.